Lexi's like, I like it. It's so nice. It's different. And I was like, I look like a buffoon. Hey everyone, happy Friday. Welcome to The Cole Life. Last week we celebrated our 6th anniversary.
6 years, y'all.
I feel like we're grown adult marriages now because it's like we're past 5. You know, we've made it through the first tier.
Like we're not in the beginning stages, you know, we're in deep. But for those that have been married for like 30 some years,
just forgive us.
Just let us have a little bit of a moment. Let's have a little bit of a moment, okay? But yeah, I feel very excited about that.
It was so nice. Like we just chilled. We had a really relaxing anniversary and it was just really nice.
It was relaxing. And it wasn't like we purposely did that. It's just kind of like we enjoy being together, period. So it doesn't matter if we're doing something big or something small. It doesn't matter. Like we just wanted some time to spend and we wanted to have some time away from Aza and just like enjoy each other. So
today we're gonna share a few stories. We're gonna answer some questions and we're gonna share a little bit about what we've learned in marriage so far and maybe some things that we wish we knew.
Real quick, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into it.
Before we go down this journey, I'd like to make a couple announcements. Number one, I don't like when Lexi wears the high puff on this couch because I look really short next to her. So I am in reality taller. People have asked that before.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they have.
Oh my gosh.
I'm 6 foot, she's 5'4". Second of all, if you see a bunch of scratch marks all over my hands, don't worry. Nothing weird is happening. I just got into a fight with the wilderness on a neighborhood cleanup a couple weeks ago.
He got poison ivy. But okay, let's go. Our first anniversary, I planned a photo shoot with Brian, with our wedding photographer. I had to remember that you had a goatee. Brian had a goatee, y'all.
I was not happy about it. Still am not happy about it. Those pictures are forever ruined because my barber, who was my friend, I want to say ex-friend because of this incident, but he was my friend. He was like, bro, I'm gonna cut you up and get you a goatee. I'm like, no, absolutely not. And he was like, no, it's fine. Just let me do it. You can take a picture and Lexi can make sure she likes it. This dude cuts me up in a goatee and then FaceTimes or texts Lexi. And Lexi's like, I like it. It's so nice. It's different. And I was like, I look like a buffoon. It ruined our first anniversary pictures, but it's fine. It's a funny memory. It did not.
After that, then Brian took me to Coach Insignia. Mm-hmm. And it's not even here anymore because we're old. It was a beautiful restaurant that sit on the top of this huge building where you could see downtown. You could see all of downtown. It was absolutely beautiful. You had to dress really nice to go there. Then Brian surprised me. He gave me a very huge surprise. Y'all know how Brian is. Our wedding, I did not walk down to the music that I wanted to walk down to. There was a very special song that I wanted to walk down the aisle to.
So for all the Brian McKnight fans out there, he's got a song called For the Rest of My Life and another one called The Rest of My Life. DJ mixed them up and played the wrong song. Lexi realized it as she was walking out. She's like, you realized it once you were walking down the aisle. You're
mid-walk.
I
was like,
the wrong
wow.
song.
I am not a bridezilla. I was never a bridezilla. So I was just like, we're gonna flow with it. This is a nice song. I'm just gonna keep going. I'm having a great time.
It's a really beautiful song.
One of the best nights of my life. So fast forward to our 1-year anniversary. After our dinner, Brian set up a dance floor and he played the song that I was supposed to walk down the aisle.
She was boohoo crying.
I cried. I am not a crier, y'all.
Boohoo crying.
But I was boohoo crying.
And the funniest part about it is almost in every major event between us romantically, my brothers are involved in the background somehow. So literally they were lighting the candles that were around the dance floor because it was at night. And I didn't want the wind to blow them out. So they stayed there until Lexi was literally walking around the corner of the house and then they just jumped the fence and ran the other way.
I didn't even know that.
And then I set up I don't know what to call it, a screen made out of sheets and a projector that played a movie that I made for her. It was not a movie, a video. Just expressing how much I loved her and all that cheesy stuff.
And that is actually on YouTube, guys. So if you find it,
I don't even know
let us know. We will put out a prize for those that will find these videos of Brian.
I don't even remember what the username is that I posted it under. I have no idea what it is.
I found it.
Did you really?
I found it. It's on YouTube, guys, and it's open. It's public for everyone to see. So
I hope I didn't have the goatee, but
I think you might.
maybe.
All right, so you guys asked us some really, really good questions. We're gonna go over that.
So the first one is by Lakeisha, encouraging your partner's growth versus attempting to change your partner. Speak on it in detail, please.
I think that there's parts of Brian's personality where I can be annoyed by sometimes. Like if Brian is a dad joke person. He tells dad jokes. I am not a fan of dad jokes. So I'll say sometimes.
Half the world's population thinks they're funny.
20%. But sometimes when Brian does dad joke, I just kind of like roll my eyes. Those things I'm not trying to change just because I don't like them. I think there are certain things that can be hurtful to each other, and part of our character and part of our personality is when we realize that things are hurting the relationship, then we want to make those changes. Not because I'm trying to change him, but because we're seeing that this is not fitting for our relationship, and that causes us to want to change. Before Brian, I was not the most organized person. I am constantly working on that. That is something
You're
that
doing much better.
Thank you. People sometimes will say like, oh, I'm unorganized. I'm just going to find somebody that's organized and, we're going to work together. We balance each other out. It's like, no, I see that that's hurting. That could hurt the relationship. That could hurt me as a person. And I'm realizing I want to be better. So I think those are different.
It starts before you get married.
Yeah.
I think it's really, really, really important to have these hard conversations prior to around expectations of what you want with your life and are you willing to grow? Are you willing to change? What motivates someone to be better? If someone ever says you knew who you married or you knew who you got with, like this is me and I'm not changing, those are red flags. I would try to root out those red flags prior to marriage because once you're married, if you haven't had those expectations and you haven't had the conversations, it's hard to then go back and say,
I don't like this.
Well, I don't like this, you should change, if the person never expressed a desire to change. I think the best way to encourage growth is through asking questions and letting them kind of self-discover and create the answer for themselves, and you just help guide them.
I have a 2-part question. Do you guys talk to each other about everything? Like if someone in the family says something to you that is personal, do you discuss it with each other? And also, how do you deal with tension in your marriage? I think that if it is something...
I'm listening. I want to hear your answer.
Oh, you got real close and personal. I was like, wow, hello.
You have beautiful eyes.
I would say that personal stuff, depending on what it is, I will not tell Brian because I think there are certain things that are too personal where it has nothing to do with Brian. It has nothing to do with, me not sharing it. It could just be... something that deals with sexual abuse or an addiction. And they, came to me out of confidence because they felt like they could only talk to one person. I don't think that's necessary for us to share. I think that when it comes to family stuff, sometimes we need each other to support. Even if it doesn't affect us, it may affect us, on the side or secondary. But it still affects us and we want to share it and get another person's perspective. And I trust my husband to help me with that. But other than that, I think that we do. The only time that we don't, I feel like if it's too personal.
I think you said it right when you said, is it necessary? Like, do I need to know this? And if I don't need to know, great. Yeah. But if it is something that you're struggling with and need support on or need me as wisdom to weigh in on how you should handle it, then I think, absolutely. How do we deal with tension in our marriage? Let me say this. Oh. You will hurt each other in marriage. Okay?
Say it with chest.
I don't like when people say, I'll never hurt you. That's a lie because when you get close with someone, you become vulnerable and open. Yes. There are just things that you can hurt someone unknowingly and have no intention to hurt them, but just it happens. Yes. So there will be moments where you hurt each other.
Honest out here. Let's talk about it.
And when you do, it's so easy when you are friends and when you want to be happy to just sit, forgive each other and move on and give it some time to breathe and come back and just get back with your routine. We have to intentionally pause and stop ourselves and say, I don't want this to become an issue of resentment or bitterness. We have to talk through it. I want to be happy and I am forgiving, but we need to address the root of what happened and why it happened and get that cleared because we don't want it to happen again and again and again.
And sometimes for me, I'm very much of a person that wants an apology, I always like to take time and really think about it and make sure that I'm sharing everything I want to share, so there is no tension afterwards, so I don't feel weird afterwards. I want to make sure that and sometimes it takes continuing to talk about it.
Yeah.
And to make sure that we are getting everything out. So, yeah.
We have 2 questions here. We'll just start with the first one. What are your thoughts on Christians having tattoos and piercings?
We have tattoos. He has a tattoo down here. Long story short, I don't think it's bad. I think that you have a personal conviction on those things too, of what you choose, what you feel is right. But I don't think that biblically, like, you're not going to hell for that. So
I think there are certain boundaries and rules and restrictions in the Bible that are non-negotiable, that are absolutes. I think there's other things that are a personal walk. Anything from drinking wine to not getting drunk. I think that's over the line.
Yes.
But drinking wine, I choose not to. Lexi chooses to, and we're okay with that. But with tattoos, a lot of Christians base their thoughts on the Leviticus scripture that talks about not putting markings on your body. If you look in the context of it and do your own research, there are definitely a lot of other things that we don't feel are wrong in that same passage, that if you take it in one piece, you have to take the whole thing.
Yes.
Which means you can't have ear piercings, which means you can't cut your hair or your beard. And clearly those are things that Christians find acceptable. So I've talked to our pastors, I've talked to spiritual fathers, I've talked to my parents, I've talked to so many people, and I didn't feel that the reasonings behind not getting them really made it a true sin or anything close to it. So how much does parental and outside advice influence the decisions you make in your marriage? Example, gender roles, parenting, etc.
To make this quick, honestly, I think that we take advice. We don't ever shoo away information. We always take in the information, but we assess it and see that it relates to us. A lot of times it can relate to us, and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes that is their, family or their gender roles, and it's not ours. We figure out what works for us and what we're comfortable with, and that's pretty much it. What's the big difference of dating and marriage?
One, you can have sex and not think twice about it.
Period. Thinking of dating Lexi and Brian, like, they don't even know the love. They don't even know.
Juvenile love.
They knew love, but they didn't know love. And we know it. Like, it feels, I don't know. It's hard to explain.
So Lexi's brother sat down with me. We had some conversation when he got married a year before us. And I was just asking him how's marriage, because we were engaged at the time. And he literally said, bro, I can tell you this. What I've already realized is that if you are with the wrong one, it can be hell on earth.
Yeah.
But if you're with the right one, it's heaven on earth.
We've been married for 6 years, and people are already getting divorces. People are already separating.
Like a good amount of people.
And we've seen that like often, and it's very shocking. It still is very shocking, but also understanding, because this is work, but it's like once you put in the work, it just gets better. Like, I feel like our love is getting better. Our love is growing into this like super deep level, because we're seeing the other side. Like, we're not seeing each other as the enemy. We're seeing each other as like, okay, this is hard, but we're gonna get through this together. So let's work on it.
The arguments aren't as harsh. The conversations flow easier. It's just, things are getting better and better and better.
And not to say that we're not gonna have seasons, because we are, but I don't know.
We just talked about that.
We just talked about a bad season. It's just like we're learning how to manage these seasons and manage them together. That's the biggest thing. It may be hard, but at least we're together in it. So, yeah.
But that's what we got.
Yep.
6 years in the making, looking for 60 more, and we love you guys.
Love you.
We hope you answer some of your questions, and make sure you like, comment, subscribe on the channel.
Yes. Let us know what you think about all the questions. Let us know your thoughts on it, and we love you. We'll talk to you later.